You're not fit to serve me, billionaire Lucien Varnier jeers, flinging scalding soup onto Zuri Caldwell, a black waitress at the Celestial's dazzling gala. His vicious taunt, meant to crush her spirit before an elite audience, sparks stunned silence. Yet Zuri, with unshakable grace, conceals her true power as a corporate titan in disguise. As Lucian's cruelty fuels whispers, her poised response ignites a calculated takedown, shattering his empire with devastating precision. In a world where wealth demands submission, can one woman's resolve redefine power? Dive into Zuri's gripping saga of justice, where dignity triumphs over arrogance. Will her fearless stand spark your own defiance? Share your thoughts below, smash that like button, and subscribe for more tales of empowerment. Where are you watching from? Zuri Caldwell glided through the dining room of the Celestial, her white blouse crisp and her black waitress skirt swaying with each precise step. The air buzzed with the clink of crystal glasses and the low hum of jazz, the Art Deco elegance of the room, gleaming chandeliers and muraled walls, casting a glow over the elite gathered for the tech contract gala. Her eyes, sharp behind a practiced smile, scanned the crowd, locking onto Evelyn Porter, the manager, who hovered near a table of suited investors, her face tight with deference. Evelyn Porter's already sweating, Zuri muttered to herself, tucking her phone into her apron after typing a quick note. Manager prioritizes VIPs over staff. She adjusted a tray of appetizers, weaving toward the central table where Lucien Varnier, CEO of Varnier Tech, held court. Lucien, his silver hair slicked back, twisted a diamond ring on his finger, his voice booming over the table. "This amuse-bouche is as bland as the staff here," he sneered, pushing a plate away. His entourage chuckled nervously. "You, girl," he snapped at Zuri, "get me something edible. Unless you're as useless as this food." Zuri set the tray down, her smile unwavering. "I'll have the chef prepare a new dish immediately, sir." Her tone was smooth, but her fingers tightened briefly on the tray's edge. Lucien leaned back, smirking. "Do you even know what this plate costs? More than your month's wages, I'd bet." His eyes raked over her, dismissing her as nothing. "Of course, sir," Zuri replied, turning toward the kitchen. She caught Amara Lemoyne's gaze across the room, her friend's dark eyes flashing with warning. Amara, balancing a tray of champagne flutes, mouthed, "Trouble." Zuri gave a subtle nod, her mind already cataloging Lucian's arrogance. In the kitchen, Amara sidled up as Zuri relayed the order. "That man's a walking disaster," Amara whispered, brushing a stray curl from her forehead. "Evelyn Porter's practically kissing his shoes. You know she's drowning in debt, right? She'll let him walk all over us to save her own skin." Zuri raised an eyebrow. "Explains why she's spineless. But Lucian's testing me. Let's see how far he goes." She grabbed a fresh plate, her movements deliberate. Back at the table, Evelyn Porter intercepted Zuri, her voice low and urgent. "Zuri, you need to be flawless tonight. Mr. Varnier is our key to the contract. One mistake, and we're all in trouble." Her eyes darted to Lucien, who was now berating a junior associate. "I understand," Zuri said, her tone neutral but her gaze piercing. Evelyn Porter's desperation was a liability, and Zuri filed it away for later. As she set the new dish before Lucien, he barely glanced at it. "Took you long enough," he grunted, waving her off like a servant. "Don't hover. You're ruining the ambiance." His ring glinted as he gestured, a taunt of wealth. Zuri stepped back, her smile fixed. "Enjoy your meal, sir." She moved to a nearby table where Theo Duval, a young engineer from Varnier Tech, watched the exchange with a furrowed brow. His discomfort was obvious, his fingers tapping nervously on his glass. Amara joined Zuri, her voice barely audible. "Theo's not like the others. He looks like he wants to crawl under the table every time Lucien opens his mouth." "Good to know," Zuri murmured, her eyes flicking to Theo. An ally, maybe. She'd need one if Lucien escalated. The gala's energy shifted as Lucien stood, clinking his glass for attention. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, his voice dripping with self-assurance, "Varnier Tech is the future of innovation. This contract with Caldwell Enterprises will cement our dominance." The room applauded, but Zuri caught Theo's grimace, a crack in the facade. Evelyn Porter hovered near Lucien, nodding eagerly. Zuri exchanged a glance with Amara, who muttered, "She'd sell her soul for that contract." Zuri's lips twitched, but her mind was racing. Lucian's ego was a powder keg, and she was ready to light the fuse. As Zuri cleared a nearby table, Lucian's voice cut through the hum. "You there!" he barked, pointing at her. A guest had knocked over a wine glass, the red liquid pooling on the linen. "Clean this up before you embarrass us further." His sneer was deliberate, a performance for the room. Zuri knelt, dabbing the stain, her face composed. "Right away, sir." His gaze burned into her, but she didn't flinch. Amara, passing by, whispered, "He's baiting you. Stay cool." "I'm always cool," Zuri replied under her breath, rising with the soiled cloth. She met Lucian's eyes for a split second, her stare a silent challenge. He smirked, turning back to his table, but the air crackled with tension. Zuri slipped her phone from her apron, texting Amara, "He's just getting started. Keep your eyes open." Amara's reply buzzed back, "Got you. This is going to be a night." Zuri moved to the service station, her pulse steady but quick. Lucien Varnier thought he ruled this room, but he was about to learn how wrong he was. She wasn't just a waitress. She was Zuri Caldwell, and she held the power to unravel his world. Zuri Caldwell adjusted her tray of water pitchers, navigating the crowded dining room of the Celestial as Lucien Varnier's voice boomed from the central table. The gala was in full swing, the clink of glasses and murmurs of the elite filling the air. Zuri's white blouse and black waitress skirt blended seamlessly with the staff, but her eyes burned with focus, tracking every move of the Varnier Tech CEO. Lucien stood, raising a glass. "To innovation and power," he declared, his diamond ring catching the chandelier light. The room applauded, but Zuri caught Theo Duval, the young engineer, shifting uncomfortably in his seat. She filed it away, her mind sharp. As she approached Lucien's table to refill water, he snatched the pitcher from her hand. "Careful, girl," he snapped, loud enough for nearby tables to turn. "You're not here to splash million-euro suits." His smirk was a blade, slicing for attention. "My apologies, sir," Zuri said, her voice steady, smile intact. She reached to adjust the pitcher, but Lucien yanked it back, spilling a stream onto the tablecloth. "Pathetic," he barked, standing to face her. "You're a walking disaster." With a deliberate flick, he upended a steaming bowl of soup from his place setting, the hot liquid splashing across Zuri's skirt, seeping through to her skin. The room fell silent, 150 pairs of eyes locked on her. "You belong scrubbing floors, not serving me," he sneered. "Evelyn Porter, get this incompetent out of here, or your precious contract is done." Zuri froze, the sting of the soup sharp, but her face a mask of calm. "I'll replace the tablecloth immediately, sir," she said, her tone unshaken. Her hands clenched briefly, then relaxed as she stepped back. Evelyn Porter rushed over, her face pale. "Mr. Varnier, I'm so sorry," she stammered, shooting Zuri a glare. "She'll be dealt with." She grabbed Zuri's arm, pulling her toward the service corridor. "What were you thinking, provoking him?" Evelyn Porter hissed. "My family's drowning in debt. This contract is our lifeline." Zuri pulled free, her gaze piercing. "I didn't provoke him. He's performing, and you're letting him." She smoothed her stained skirt, the damp fabric clinging to her legs. Amara Lemoyne slipped into the corridor, her eyes wide. "Zuri, you okay?" she whispered, holding up her phone. "I recorded everything. That bastard's voice is crystal clear." She swiped to a photo of Zuri, soup dripping from her skirt. "This is your ammunition." "Good work," Zuri said, her voice low. "Send it to me. Keep quiet for now." She glanced at Evelyn Porter, who was pacing, muttering about damage control. "Watch her. She's desperate." Amara nodded, tucking her phone away. "I tried to tell her Lucian's the problem, but she threatened to fire me. She's terrified of him." "She's terrified of losing her job," Zuri corrected. "That makes her weak." She pulled out her phone, texting a secure line. "Gaspar, it's time." Lucien crossed the line. Her father's reply was instant. "Proceed. Be careful." Back in the dining room, Theo Duval approached Amara near the bar, his voice low. "What Lucien did was disgusting. Is she all right?" His hands fidgeted, betraying his unease. Amara studied him. "Why do you care? You're one of his." "I'm not like him," Theo said, glancing toward Lucien's table. "He's out of control. If she needs help, I'm in." He scribbled his number on a napkin, handing it to Amara. "Pass it to her." Amara tucked the napkin away, skeptical but intrigued. I'll tell her. Don't make me regret this. She rejoined Zuri, relaying Theo's offer. He seems genuine, but he's still Varnier tech. Your call. Zuri nodded, her mind racing. He's a crack in Lucian's armor. We'll use it. She wiped the last of the soup from her skirt, the burn on her skin fading, but her resolve hardening. Get me a fresh uniform. I'm not done tonight. Evelyn Porter intercepted them, her voice sharp. Zuri, you're on thin ice. One more mistake, and you're gone. She glanced nervously at Lucian, who was laughing with his entourage, oblivious to the storm brewing. You're protecting the wrong person, Zuri said, her tone icy. That'll cost you. She brushed past Evelyn Porter, slipping into the staff room to change. The clean blouse and skirt restored her armor, but the fire in her chest roared. Amara followed, her voice urgent. What's the plan? Lucian's not stopping, and Evelyn Porter's ready to throw you under the bus. Zuri checked her phone, Gaspar's next message glowing. Gather evidence. Board meeting tomorrow. She looked up, her eyes glinting. We're not just fighting back. We're ending him. She stepped back into the dining room, her smile a weapon. Lucian's laughter rang out, but Zuri's focus was unbreakable. He thought he'd humiliated her, but he'd just handed her the key to his downfall. Zuri Caldwell slipped into a dimly lit room at the back of the Celestial, the hum of the gala fading behind the heavy door. She activated a secure video link on a wall-mounted screen, her fingers swift on the touchscreen. Gaspar Caldwell's face appeared, his stern features softened by concern. Zuri, still in her crisp white blouse and black waitress skirt, stood tall, the faint stain of soup a badge of defiance. Lucien Varnier went too far, Zuri said, her voice steady. He humiliated me in front of the entire gala, dumped soup on me, and demanded Evelyn Porter fire me. I've got video proof. She uploaded Amara's recording, the audio of Lucian's sneers crystal clear. Gaspar's jaw tightened. You're unharmed? Physically, yes, Zuri replied, but he's a liability. Evelyn Porter's too weak to stand up to him. She's drowning in debt and prioritizing his contract over her staff. She swiped her phone, sending Gaspar the camera footage from the dining room. This isn't just personal. Varnier Tech's product has a security flaw. I found a report buried in their public filings. It could cost millions. Gaspar leaned forward. You're suggesting we pull the contract? More than that, Zuri said, her eyes sharp. We cancel Varnier Tech and sign with Novellum Systems. Their tech is cleaner, and they don't come with an egomaniac CEO. I'm preparing a financial comparison to seal it. She tapped her phone, pulling up a draft analysis. Bold, Gaspar said. Lucian won't go quietly. You'll need airtight evidence for the board tomorrow. I'm on it, Zuri said. Amara's video is a start, and Theo Duval, one of Lucien's engineers, reached out. He's unhappy with Varnier Tech and might have more on the security flaw. I'm meeting him tonight. Gaspar's brow furrowed. Be cautious. He could be a plant. I know, Zuri said. Amara's watching my back. Her phone buzzed, Amara's text. Evelyn Porter's on the phone with Lucian. She's promising to fire you. Zuri's lips pressed thin. Evelyn Porter's digging her own grave. She's feeding Lucian's ego to save herself. Handle her carefully, Gaspar said. She's desperate, and desperate people are unpredictable. Get Theo's evidence and finalize that report. I'll set up the board meeting for noon. Zuri nodded. Consider it done. The screen went dark, and she exhaled, the weight of the night settling in. She checked Amara's message again, replying, Keep eyes on Evelyn Porter. Meet me at the parking lot, 11 p.m. In the bustling kitchen, Amara intercepted Zuri, her voice low. Evelyn Porter's losing it. She told Lucien she'll handle you by morning. I tried calling her out, but she threatened to cut my hours. Amara's eyes flashed with anger. She's scared of him, but she's screwing us over. Zuri squeezed Amara's arm. She's choosing the wrong side. Stay sharp. We're turning this around. She slipped her phone into her apron, mind racing. Theo's offer was a gamble, but she needed his intel to bury Varnier Tech. As Zuri returned to the dining room, Evelyn Porter cornered her near the bar, her voice a harsh whisper. You're still here? I told you to stay out of trouble. Mr. Varnier wants you gone, and I can't risk this contract. Zuri met her gaze unflinching. You're protecting a bully, Evelyn Porter. That's a mistake. She stepped past, ignoring Evelyn Porter's sputtered protest. The gala was winding down, Lucian's table now a hub of loud laughter. Theo, at the edge, caught Zuri's eye, his expression tense. He nodded slightly, a signal. At 11 p.m., Zuri stood in the shadowed parking lot, the cool night air cutting through her blouse. Amara lingered near a service entrance, her phone ready to record. Theo emerged from the darkness, hands shoved in his pockets. "I shouldn't be here," he muttered, glancing over his shoulder. "Lucian's paranoid. He'd ruin me." "Then why are you?" Zuri asked, her tone calm but probing. Theo hesitated. "What he did to you was wrong, and Varnier Tech's a mess. The security flaw in our software, it's worse than the reports say. Crashes, data leaks, the works." He pulled a USB drive from his jacket. "This has internal memos. Proof Lucien knew and covered it up." Zuri took the drive, her fingers steady. "Why trust me?" "You stood up to him," Theo said. "Nobody does that." He shifted, nervous. "Just keep my name out of it." "Deal," Zuri said. "But if this is a trick, you'll regret it." Her voice was soft, but edged with steel. Amara stepped closer, her presence a quiet warning. "We're watching," she said, her eyes locked on Theo. He nodded, then slipped away into the night. Zuri plugged the USB into her phone, scanning the files. Memos detailed Varnier Tech's cover-up, signed by Lucian himself. "Jackpot," she murmured, forwarding a copy to her secure cloud. She texted Amara, "We've got him. Stay on Evelyn Porter tonight." Back in the staff room, Zuri opened her laptop, merging Theo's data with her financial analysis. The numbers were damning. Novellum Systems outperformed Varnier Tech across the board. She crafted a presentation, her focus razor-sharp. Lucian thought he'd crushed her, but he'd just lit the fuse. Zuri Caldwell stood in the dimly lit parking lot behind the Celestial, the night air sharp against her white blouse and black Waitress skirt. Her phone glowed with the files from Theo Duval's USB, each memo a nail in Varnier Tech's coffin. She forwarded the last one to her secure cloud, her fingers swift, then slipped the device into her apron. Amara Lemoyne emerged from the shadows, her eyes scanning the empty lot. "Theo's gone," Amara said, voice low. "You trust him?" "Not completely," Zuri replied, her tone measured. "But these files are real. Lucian's been bearing a software disaster." She handed Amara her phone, showing a memo signed by the CEO himself. "This is our leverage." Amara's lips curved. "He's done. But Evelyn Porter's still a problem. I caught her texting Lucian after you left the dining room. She's promising to fire you by dawn." She paused, frustration flashing. "I told her she's backing the wrong horse, but she threatened to cut me from the schedule." Zuri's eyes narrowed. "Evelyn Porter's desperate. That makes her dangerous." She checked her phone. A new message from Gaspar. "Board meeting confirmed, noon. Send me the report." She typed a quick reply. "Finalizing now. Evidence is solid." "Let's move," Zuri said, leading Amara toward the service entrance. Inside, the kitchen was quiet, the gala's chaos replaced by the clatter of cleanup. Zuri pulled Amara aside. "Keep tabs on Evelyn Porter tonight. If she's plotting with Lucian, I need to know what she says." Amara nodded, tucking a stray curl behind her ear. "I'm on it. But you're meeting Theo again? That's risky." "Not meeting," Zuri corrected. "He's done his part. Now it's on me." She opened her laptop on a prep counter, pulling up her financial analysis. The screen glowed with charts comparing Varnier Tech's shaky performance to Novellum Systems' robust metrics. She added Theo's memos, highlighting Lucian's cover-up. Amara leaned in, reading over her shoulder. "You're going to bury him with this. But what about Evelyn Porter? She's not just weak, she's spiteful. I heard her muttering about teaching you a lesson." Zuri's fingers paused on the keyboard. "She's digging her own grave. Let her." She resumed typing, her focus unbroken. The report was nearly complete, a weapon forged for the boardroom. A sharp voice cut through the kitchen. "Zuri! Amara!" Evelyn Porter stormed in, her face flushed. "What are you doing here after hours? I told you to leave." Her eyes flicked to the laptop, suspicion flaring. "Plotting something?" Zuri closed the screen, her smile cool. "Just finishing paperwork, Evelyn Porter. You should try it sometime." Her tone was polite but barbed, a challenge. Amara stepped forward, voice sharp. "You're the one sneaking around, making deals with Lucian. We know you're trying to fire Zuri to save your own neck." Evelyn Porter's eyes widened, then narrowed. "You're out of line, Amara. Keep this up and you're both done." She jabbed a finger at Zuri. Lucian wants you gone, and I'm making it happen. This contract is bigger than either of you. Zuri met her gaze unflinching. You're betting on the wrong man. That's a choice you'll regret. She turned back to her laptop, dismissing Evelyn Porter's glare. Evelyn Porter spun on her heel, muttering under her breath as she left. Amara exhaled. She's unhinged. You sure we can handle her? We don't have to, Zuri said. She's doing it to herself. She finalized the report, attaching the video of Lucian's outburst in Theo's memos. With a click, she sent it to Gaspar, her pulse quickening. The board would see Lucian for what he was, a liability. Amara's phone buzzed. She glanced at it, frowning. Theo just texted me. Says Lucian's sniffing around, asking about him. He's freaking out. Zuri considered this, her mind racing. Tell him to lie low. I'll keep his name out of the report. She typed a quick message to Theo. Stay quiet. You're safe. His reply came fast. Thanks. Don't let him win. Zuri stood, stretching her arms. I need to prep for the board meeting. Get me anything you hear from Evelyn Porter. Texts, calls, anything. She packed her laptop, her movements precise. Lucian thinks he's untouchable. Tomorrow we prove he's not. Amara grinned, but her eyes were serious. You're scary when you're focused, you know that. Good, Zuri said, her smile sharp. He should be scared. She headed for the staff exit, the weight of the night settling in. Lucian's sneers echoed in her mind, but they only fueled her resolve. As she stepped into the cool night, her phone buzzed. A new email from Evelyn Porter, sent to the entire staff. Zuri Caldwell is under review for misconduct. Expect updates. Zuri's jaw tightened. Evelyn Porter was escalating, but it was a desperate move. She forwarded the email to Gaspar, adding, Evelyn Porter's aligning with Lucian. She's done. Zuri slipped into her car, the engine humming to life. The boardroom awaited, and she was ready to dismantle Lucian's empire, piece by piece. Zuri Caldwell sat at a sleek desk in a quiet office tucked within the Celestial. Her laptop open to a polished presentation. Her white blouse and black waitress skirt were gone, replaced by a tailored black blazer, her hair still neatly tied back. The screen glowed with charts and memos, each slide a dagger aimed at VarnierTech. She adjusted a graph comparing Novellum Systems' stability to VarnierTech's flaws, her fingers steady despite the late hour. Her phone buzzed. Amara Lemoyne's text, Evelyn Porter's spiraling. Just overheard her call Lucian, promising to end you tomorrow. Zuri's lips pressed thin. She replied, keep listening. Get proof if you can. Amara's response was quick. On it. She's a mess. Zuri leaned back, exhaling. Evelyn Porter's desperation was a ticking bomb, but it played into her hands. She opened an email from Gaspar Caldwell, her father. Report received. Board's ready for noon. Stay sharp. Lucian's cornered, and he'll lash out. Zuri nodded to herself, typing back, I'm prepared. Evelyn Porter's imploding too. She returned to her slides, embedding the video of Lucian's soup-throwing tirade. The audio was damning, his voice snarling. You belong scrubbing floors. She paired it with Theo Duval's memos, highlighting VarnierTech's covered-up software flaw. The evidence was airtight, but her pulse quickened at the thought of facing Lucian in the boardroom. A soft knock interrupted her. Amara slipped in, her apron smudged from the night's work. Got something, she said, holding up her phone. Evelyn Porter sent Lucian a voice message. Listen. She played it. Evelyn Porter's voice, frantic, promised, I'll fire Zuri at dawn. The contract's safe with me. Amara smirked. Sloppy. She didn't even encrypt it. Zuri's eyes glinted. Forward it to me. This buries her. She saved the file, adding it to her dossier. Anything else? Amara hesitated. Lucian spooked Theo. He texted me. Says Lucian's asking about missing files. Theo's holding it together, but he's scared. She handed Zuri her phone, showing Theo's message. Lucian's on edge. Tell Zuri to move fast. Zuri frowned, typing a reply to Theo. Stay calm. Your name's out of it. We're almost there. She handed the phone back. Theo's done enough. Now it's on us. Amara crossed her arms. You're really going for the kill, aren't you? Lucian, Evelyn Porter, the whole contract. It's not about killing, Zuri said, her voice firm. It's about accountability. Lucian doesn't get to humiliate people. Evelyn Porter doesn't get to sell us out. She clicked through her presentation, finalizing a slide on Novellum Systems' superior tech. I called their CEO earlier. They're ready to sign once we drop Varnier Tech. Amara whistled. You don't mess around. But Evelyn Porter's not done. She's telling staff you're disruptive, trying to turn them against you. Zuri's jaw tightened. Let her try. They'll see the truth tomorrow. She stood, stretching her arms. Go home, Amara. Get some rest. I need you sharp for the morning. Amara lingered, her voice softening. You sure you're okay? That soup stunt, I'd have lost it. Zuri's smile was tight. I'm fine. He'll regret it. She gestured to the door. Go. I've got this. Alone again, Zuri opened Evelyn Porter's staff email, the one accusing her of misconduct. She forwarded it to Gaspar with a note. Evelyn Porter's building a case. It won't hold. Then she drafted a rebuttal, saving it for the right moment. Her phone buzzed. A new email from Evelyn Porter, this time to her alone. Leave the Celestial by morning, or I'll blacklist you from the industry. Zuri archived it, her resolve hardening. Evelyn Porter was flailing, and it showed. She spent the next hour polishing her presentation, rehearsing key lines. Mr. Varnier's actions and Varnier Tech's flaws make this contract untenable, she practiced, her voice low but commanding. She imagined Lucian's smug face crumbling, his ring-twirling hands stilled. The thought fueled her. A text from Theo broke her focus. Lucian's calling an emergency meeting with his team. He knows something's up. Zuri's stomach twisted, but she replied, Hold tight. He's too late. She checked the time, 2 a.m. The board meeting was 10 hours away, and sleep wasn't an option. Zuri stood, pacing the small office. She opened her laptop's secure line, confirming with Novellum Systems CEO, We're ready to proceed post-board meeting. Their reply was immediate. Contract's yours, impressive work. She allowed herself a brief smile, then shut the laptop. As she gathered her things, Amara's final text arrived. Evelyn Porter's still on the phone with Lucian. She sounds unhinged. Be careful. Zuri replied, Thanks. See you at 8. She slipped her phone into her pocket, the weight of the night settling in. Lucian and Evelyn Porter were scrambling, but she was a step ahead. The boardroom would be her battlefield, and she was armed to win. Zuri Caldwell stood at the head of a polished mahogany table, her black blazer sharp against the room's crimson velvet chairs. The boardroom's high windows framed a gray morning sky, the air taut with anticipation. She adjusted her laptop, the screen ready with her presentation. Gaspar Caldwell's face glowed on a video screen, his expression stern but supportive. Zuri's pulse was steady, her focus absolute. The door swung open, and Lucien Varnier strode in, his silver hair gleaming, diamond ring flashing as he adjusted his cufflinks. His entourage of lawyers trailed behind, their briefcases snapping shut. This better be quick, Lucien said, his voice dripping with disdain. I have a contract to sign. His eyes landed on Zuri, narrowing. What's the waitress doing here? Zuri met his gaze, her smile cool. Sit down, Mr. Varnier. You'll want to hear this. Her tone was calm, but it carried an edge that silenced the room. Lucien scoffed, dropping into a chair. This is absurd. Where's the board? They're here, Zuri said, gesturing to Gaspar's screen and the empty seats reserved for remote members. I'm presenting on their behalf. She clicked her remote, the screen behind her lighting up with the video of Lucian's gala outburst. The footage played, Lucian's voice snarling, You belong scrubbing floors, as he dumped soup on Zuri's skirt. The room's silence was deafening, broken only by Lucian's sharp intake of breath. This is irrelevant, he snapped, rising. A private moment, twisted out of context. Sit, Zuri said, her voice slicing through his protest. It's very relevant. She switched to a slide of Varnier Tech's internal memos, Theo Duval's evidence highlighted in red. You covered up a software flaw that risked data breaches and millions in losses. This isn't a moment. It's a pattern. Lucian's face reddened. Lies! You're nobody! A waitress playing games! He jabbed a finger at her. Who put you up to this? Zuri stepped forward, her presence commanding. I'm Zuri Caldwell, Vice President of Caldwell Enterprises. My father tasked me with auditing the Celestial, and you, Mr. Varnier, failed the test. She clicked on a financial chart. Novellum Systems outperforms your company in every metric. We're canceling your contract and signing with them. Lucien slammed his fist on the table. You can't do this! That contract is worth millions. His lawyers scrambled, flipping through documents, but Zuri pressed on. We can and we are, she said, her voice unwavering. Your behavior and Varnier Tech's flaws make you a liability. This video, these memos, they're already with our legal team. She leaned in, eyes locked on his. You thought you could buy our dignity. You were wrong. Gaspar's voice cut in from the screen. The board approves Ms. Caldwell's recommendation. The contract is terminated, effective immediately. His tone was final, unyielding. Lucian's bravado cracked. You're making a mistake, he stammered, turning to his lawyers. Tell them, we'll sue for breach. One lawyer, a wiry man with glasses, shook his head. The evidence is ironclad, sir. Litigation won't hold. Lucian's ring stopped twirling, his hands trembling. Zuri clicked to her final slide, a signed letter from Novellum Systems. We've already secured a better partner. Your time's up. She closed her laptop, the sound echoing like a gavel. Lucian lurched to his feet, his voice rising to a shout. You'll regret this, girl. I'll ruin you. He lunged toward her, but a security guard, stationed discreetly, stepped forward, hand raised. Leave, Mr. Varnier, Zuri said, her calm unshaken. You're done here. Lucian's lawyers pulled him back, whispering urgently. He shook them off, his face a mask of rage and desperation. This isn't over, he hissed, storming out, the door slamming behind him. Zuri exhaled, her shoulders relaxing slightly. She glanced at Gaspar's screen. It's finished, she said. Well done, Gaspar replied. Handle the restaurant next. Evelyn Porter's a problem. Already on it, Zuri said, packing her laptop. She texted Amara Lemoyne. Lucian's out. Meet me at the Celestial, 8 a.m. Amara's reply buzzed. Hell yes. Evelyn Porter's toast. Zuri stepped into the hallway, her phone buzzing again. A message from Theo Duval. Heard Lucian's furious. Did it work? She typed back. It worked. You're clear. Thank you. Theo's response was brief. Good. I'm out of Varnier Tech. She paused, the weight of the morning settling in. Lucian was down, but Evelyn Porter remained, and the staff needed to know the truth. Zuri's mind shifted to the dining room, where she'd reveal her identity and set things right. Her victory was only half won. Now she'd rebuild the Celestial from the ground up. Zuri Caldwell strode into the Celestial's dining room, the morning light filtering through high windows, casting patterns across the Art Deco murals. Her black blazer replaced the waitress uniform, her presence commanding as she faced the gathered staff. The room buzzed with nervous energy, servers and cooks whispering about the gala's drama. Amara Lemoyne stood near the front, her apron off, eyes bright with anticipation. Zuri raised a hand, silencing the murmurs. I'm Zuri Caldwell, she said, her voice clear and firm. Not just a waitress, but the vice president of Caldwell Enterprises. My father tasked me with auditing this restaurant, and what I found was a failure. Not from you, but from those meant to lead. Gas rippled through the crowd. Evelyn Porter, standing by the bar, froze, her face paling. Zuri continued, undeterred. Last night, Lucien Varnier humiliated me, and Evelyn Porter stood by, ready to fire me to save a contract. That ends now. Evelyn Porter stepped forward, her voice shrill. This is outrageous. I was protecting this restaurant, our jobs. You have no right. I have every right, Zuri cut in, her gaze icy. You chose a bully over your team. Effective immediately, you're terminated. She nodded to a security guard who moved toward Evelyn Porter. Your belongings will be sent to you. The staff erupted in murmurs, some shocked, others nodding in quiet approval. Evelyn Porter's eyes darted wildly. You can't do this. I've given years to this place. She jabbed a finger at Zuri. You're just a waitress playing dress-up. Amara stepped up, her voice sharp. She's more than you'll ever be, Evelyn Porter. You sold us out. Her words carried the weight of every shift endured under Evelyn Porter's fear-driven rule. Zuri held up a hand, silencing the room again. This isn't about revenge. It's about respect. You deserve a workplace where you're valued, not pawns for people like Lucien. She turned to Amara, which is why Amara Lemoyne is your new manager. She's proven her loyalty and strength. Amara's jaw dropped, then she grinned, stepping forward. I won't let you down, she said to the staff, her voice steady. We're a team, and we'll run this place right. The room broke into applause, the tension dissolving into relief. A young cook called out, About time! Zuri allowed a small smile, but her work wasn't done. She pointed to the table where Lucien had spilled the soup. That table is now the honor table, she said. Every month, the hardest working staff member gets a gourmet meal there, on the house. No more serving bullies. We celebrate you. The staff cheered, the sound swelling with newfound pride. Amara leaned in, whispering, "You're changing everything, Zuri." "It's just the start," Zuri replied, her eyes scanning the room. She pulled out her phone, checking a message from Gaspar. "Evelyn Porter's termination approved. Handle Lucien's fallout." She typed back, "Under control. Staff with us." Evelyn Porter, still flanked by the guard, made a final stand. "You'll regret this," she spat, her voice cracking. "Lucien's not finished, and neither am I. I'll tell everyone you framed him." Zuri met her gaze, unflinching. "You made your choice, Evelyn Porter. Now live with it." The guard guided Evelyn Porter out, her protest fading down the corridor. Zuri turned back to the staff, her voice steady. "We're introducing the Dignity Code. Any guest who disrespects you is banned, no exceptions. This is your house now." The staff nodded, some wiping tears, others standing taller. Amara took the floor, already slipping into her new role. "All right, let's prep for lunch service. We've got a new standard to set." The team dispersed, energized as Zuri stepped aside with Amara. "Lucien's trying to smear me," Zuri said, showing Amara an email from him, accusing her of fabricating the gala incident. "He sent this to industry contacts. It's desperate." Amara snorted. "He's grasping at straws. What's the plan?" "Gaspar's handling the legal side," Zuri said. "We focus on making this place untouchable." She glanced at the honor table, its empty chairs a symbol of change. "You ready to lead?" "Born ready," Amara said, her grin fierce. "But you're not off the hook. You're still buying drinks later." Zuri laughed, the sound rare but genuine. "Deal." She addressed the lingering staff. "You're the heart of the Celestial. Let's show the world what that means." The team cheered again, their voices echoing as Zuri headed for the exit, her phone buzzing with a new message from Theo Duval. "Lucien's spiraling. You did it." She replied, "We did it. Stay safe." Zuri stepped into the morning light, the weight of the night lifting. Evelyn Porter was gone, the staff empowered, but Lucien's shadow lingered. She was ready for his next move. Zuri Caldwell stood at the edge of the Celestial's dining room, the midday rush filling the space with the clatter of plates and lively chatter. Her black blazer was a stark contrast to the white blouse and skirt she'd worn as a waitress, but her presence blended effortlessly with the staff's newfound energy. The Art Deco murals gleamed under soft lighting, and a jazz trio played in the corner, amplifying the restaurant's revived spirit. Zuri's eyes scanned the honor table, now adorned with a reserved sign for tonight's celebrated staff member. Her phone buzzed, Amara Lemoyne's text. "Staff's buzzing. First honor table dinner's a hit. You coming?" Zuri smiled, typing back, "Wouldn't miss it." She slipped the phone into her pocket, her mind shifting to the fallout from Lucien Varnier's downfall. A week prior, the viral video of Lucien's soup-throwing tirade had tanked Varnier Tech's stock. His desperate email smear campaign, accusing Zuri of orchestrating a setup, backfired when Gaspar Caldwell's legal team released Theo Duval's memos, exposing the company's software flaw cover-up. Lucien was ousted as CEO, his industry contacts abandoning him. Zuri opened an email from Gaspar. "Lucien's finished. Novellum contract signed. Well played." She archived it, satisfied but focused. Amara approached, her new manager's badge glinting. "You see the news?" she said, voice low. "Varnier Tech's board called Lucien's exit catastrophic mismanagement. He's radioactive now." "Good," Zuri said, her tone firm. "He built his empire on intimidation. It was bound to crumble." She glanced at the bustling dining room. "How's the Dignity Code holding up?" Amara grinned. "Rock solid. We banned a rude guest yesterday. Some suit yelling at a busboy. Staff's morale is through the roof." She nodded toward the honor table. "Tonight's for our top server, Lila." She's thrilled. Zuri's lips curved. "Perfect. Make sure she gets the full experience." She checked her watch. Time to meet Theo Duval, who'd requested a quick talk. He'd left Varnier Tech and joined Novellum Systems, a move Zuri had quietly endorsed. At a quiet cafe nearby, Theo waited at a corner table, his posture relaxed but eyes cautious. "Zuri," he said, standing as she approached. "I owe you. Novellum's a fresh start. Their tech's solid, and the contract's already paying off." "You earned it," Zuri said, sitting. You took a risk with those memos. It made the difference. Her voice was steady, but her gaze probed for any lingering doubts. Theo leaned forward. Lucian called me last night, ranting about revenge. He's delusional, but he's not done fighting. Watch your back. Zuri nodded, unfazed. He's a ghost now. No one's listening. She sipped her coffee, her mind already on the Celestial. Focus on Novellum. They're lucky to have you. Theo smiled, relieved. Thanks. You ever need anything, I'm here. They parted with a handshake, Zuri's confidence unshaken. Back at the Celestial, Zuri found Amara overseeing the evening prep. Theo's warning about Lucian, Zuri said, keeping her voice low. He's making noise, but it's empty. Still, keep the staff alert. Amara nodded, her expression serious. Got it. But tonight's about us. She gestured to the honor table, where Lila, a shy server, was being seated. The staff clapped, their cheers warm and genuine. Zuri joined the celebration, raising a glass of sparkling water. To Lila, she said, her voice caring, and to every one of you who makes this place shine. The dignity code isn't just a rule, it's who we are. The room erupted in applause, Lila blushing but beaming. Amara leaned in, whispering, You're a natural at this. Sure you don't want my job? Zuri laughed, the soundlight. You're doing fine, I've got bigger plans. Her eyes flicked to her phone. A new message from Evelyn Porter, a brief apology. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Zuri archived it without replying. Evelyn Porter's regret was too late, and Zuri's focus was forward. As the evening unfolded, Zuri mingled with the staff, their gratitude palpable. A cook slipped her a note. Thank you for standing up for us. She tucked it away, her resolve strengthened. The Celestial was no longer a playground for bullies like Lucian. It was a sanctuary for those who worked it. Zuri stepped to the honor table, addressing the team. You're the heart of this place, she said, her voice warm but firm. Keep pushing, keep shining. The staff cheered, their unity a stark contrast to the gala's tension weeks ago. Amara joined her, raising her own glass. To dignity, she said, clinking Zuri's, and to you for making it real. Zuri met her gaze, her smile genuine. To us. She drank, the jazz swelling around them. Lucian's shadow was gone. Evelyn Porter's betrayal a memory. The Celestial stood stronger, and Zuri knew this was only the beginning. What did you think of Zuri's bold stand against Lucian's arrogance? Share your thoughts on her journey and the power of dignity in the comments. Thank you for joining us in this tale of justice and resilience. Stay tuned for more stories that spark emotion and inspire change. See you next time.